coming up with the win.
Now up at 149 pounds for Harvard, Jack Crook.
Jack Crook for Harvard, the sophomore out of Tampa. Coming in, the sophomore out of Tampa against Rawson Iwanicki for Columbia. Crook, ranked number 32 in the NCAA RPI, was pinned by Penn's Jude Swisher 30 seconds in the last time they matched up, but he is listed in an RPI, which is used for the qualifiers for the team, so he could potentially receive an at-large bid for Harvard. Iwanicki diving down. Hasn't wrestled yet in a few weeks now, but back in at 149 pounds. No Richard Fettelin. As Crook doubled over, Iwanicki thought about the right leg, and Crook able to dive in on that right leg shot, flipped around, still in on that right leg, just near the calf. Iwanicki, now Crook in the bridge position, and Iwanicki trying to get some points around. Not there yet, but he is almost on top of him. Columbia wants a takedown, and he's in the bridge position. Now we get a count off. We get a 3 points so far for Columbia, for Iwanicki. His return to the mat in dual action. Near the north end, breaks free, 1 point escape for Crook. It's a 3-1 advantage for the Lions at 149. Crook, 12-8 overall in the season, looking for his 4th dual win. Iwanicki, his right knee down, his left knee trying to steady, thinking about upper body, almost pushes Crook near, now rolling that left wrist of Crook. And breaks free, now locked up again with that upper body, now rolling that arm. Left arm was on the under the tricep area of Crook, but Crook able to break free from that. Locked up again, 1:10 to go. Lions. Iwanicki with Crook, again rolling that left wrist in Rawson. Bending his left knees over, trying to just see if he can break free and maybe shoot low. He thinks about it, exposes himself low, and that's where Crook shoots. And Crook with that left leg, trying to throw down Iwanicki, but Iwanicki almost using that left leg on a side lunge to keep himself from going down, but now that right knee wrapped around the right side of Crook's head, and it's a 3-point takedown for Crook. 4-3 lead for the Crimson. Flattening out Iwanicki, the center of the mat. Riding time in favor of Harvard. A bout that as soon as he saw those legs, that's where he went, is able to generate the takedown. And Rawson trying to stand up, using that left knee, that right knee bent, trying to steady himself with his right hand. Both of his hands now bent over. Crook still underneath. That's how the first period will end. After an early lead from Rawson Iwanicki, it's a 4-3 lead for Jack Crook, and he'll be on the bottom to start the second period. Rawson will be on top. So a good spot. See if Rawson can keep Crook down, and Crook bending free, but Rawson still around the waist, brings him down. Good setup, but Crook breaks free. 1 point escape, 5-3 lead for Harvard at 149 pounds. Crook breaks free again. Iwanicki on his knees, trying to get back up. He does. He's on the left. Crook diving most for the left legs, but Iwanicki able to evade that and pushes free. Now Crook in on that right leg shot. Iwanicki trying to get back on his feet. Crook with that right leg on that left arm around him. Stop for potentially dangerous. Coaching staff yelling some words of encouragement to Rawson, who resets on the right side. We go back to neutral. Crook locked up. Rawson diving for that left leg. Crook trying to get around. Steadying himself with that right knee. Crook tried to dive for that left leg. Good defense from Rawson. Crook bent over. Rawson breaks a frown from that, using his speed on his knees to get out away from that. Rawson, or Crook rather, thought about that right leg, but just put his hand there. Now again, diving for that left leg, almost in the wheelbarrow. Not yet. As Iwanicki almost in a sideways pogo on a one-arm pogo. He does get the three-point takedown using the pogo move after the wheelbarrow was not successful. It's an 8-3 lead for Jack Crook for Harvard at 149. Crook, that right arm wrapped around the upper back of Rawson. Steadying himself. Those arms, those palms trying to tap the mat to try and stand up. With 20 seconds to go in the second, he trails by 5. Running time at 45 seconds in favor of Crook. Iwanicki trying to break free. Crook again with his arm right underneath his leg. Now resets underneath the arms. Iwanicki almost thought about trying to break free. Now he does. 1 point for him. 8-4. With running time just a second shy of a minute, and that's how the second period concludes. It's an 8-4 lead for Jack Crook. And take a look again at that, the way that Crook was able to get around on top for the takedown. Crook just able to control those left wrists and right wrists, as Coach Tonelli giving some feedback to Iwanicki. And we're checking to see about the running time for Rawson, the freshman out of Ipswich, Massachusetts, competed at St. John's Prep. Wrestled for Manny Costa at St. John's, was a three-team dual meet state champ, so he's somebody who's competed at the elite high school level in Massachusetts.
So you have to keep going, let it go there.
On that right side as we just reassess the running time, start the third for Rawson.
Right there. Now I need that same distance.
Who's a three-time D1 North sectional champion, somebody with a very decorated history in the New England wrestling community, and able to probably has seen a lot of these commits that have gone to Harvard and has faced off a lot of them in the Massachusetts area, and now able to, his first freshman year, getting in some time. And Coach Tonelli had mentioned that there would be a lot of, some changes, some injuries going on, and a lot of, with the March tournaments coming up just around the corner, Columbia, this is their second of 4 straight home meet duels before. Will host Brown as well on Sunday, and that's who Harvard's next opponent will be the following Sunday, as they get ready to close out the Ivy League, the EIWA dual season. They'll be focused on March, and a lot of those, like Kai Owen, who was ranked in the NCAA RPI, was ranked number 26. He's not wrestling today, didn't wrestle 141, somebody who's most likely getting a breather, maybe wrestling on Sunday, but somebody who could compete at NCAA's Columbia with as well.
Riding time will be changed to 56.
So riding time changed by 3. It'll decrease down to 56 to start the third after the officials congregated and approved the new time. So Crook on the bottom, and Iwanicki, the freshman, on top, on the bottom rather, and Crook on top, with Iwanicki trying to break free, swivels around, and Crook still anchoring on top. He leads by 4. Running time over a minute in favor of Harvard here at 149. A duel that started with an opening pin, first period pin from Nick Babin at 125, a tech fall from Coleman Nogle at 133, and then 141 Michael Jaffe with a win as well over Frezza. It's a 2-1 split, Harvard leading in the duel. Iwanicki bent doubled over, Crook breaks free. Iwanicki, 1-point escape. He trails by 3, and now wrestling up tempo. He's only got a minute 20 to go, and he has to decrease that running time at a minute 32. A tall task. See if the freshman competing very well against Crook, somebody who's been featured in that NCAA RPI that just came out this week. Iwanicki trying to get around on top of Crook, flowing his legs around Crook, his knee, that right knee almost to the temple of Crook, but Crook breaks around, gets the 3 points for Crook. 11-5, able to translate and reverse and get on top. A great move from Crook, from the sophomore. Running time close to 2 minutes, should be locked in. And Iwanicki stands up, 1-point escape, 11-6 with running time at a minute 48 with 35 seconds to go in the final period here at 149. Iwanicki stands up, Crook diving for that right leg. Gets around, wheelbarrow, 3-point takedown. Crook, 14-6 lead. And that running time at 2 minutes with 20 seconds to go in the third. Crook just all around that right leg of Iwanicki just inside near the calf, the inner calf of Crook, but Crook adjusts and resets on top. Applause from the Crimson fans, and it's a final 15-6 victory for Harvard over Columbia, and Harvard again leading 12-6 after 4 bouts. Harvard looking to keep it rolling against Columbia as we head to 157. You're watching Ivy League Wrestling on ESPN+.